Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is actually the second time that I'm having to film this video. Welcome back everyone, my name is Julie. Today I'm going to be answering some questions from the Q&A that I posted over on my Instagram last week. Now like I said, I have actually already filmed this video, but unfortunately when I pulled the footage to go ahead and edit it, my camera recorded absolutely nothing. So here we are. We're gonna try take two and hopefully it works this time. All right, so first up. How have you been and how is your summer going? Well, I feel like summer hasn't like officially started for us, and it's also just a really weird season because I don't have kids going back into school in the fall. I mean, our son is going into college, but it doesn't feel like, you know, actual summer break anymore. It's just like, I don't know. It's so different when you don't have kids in like regular either high school or middle school or things like that. So it's going good. We don't have any major plans for this summer, and that's also really weird. We didn't really want to plan too far ahead because of everything that was going on. We didn't know what summer was going to look like for 2021, so we didn't make a lot of plans, and it's actually perfectly okay because Jesse and I are both transitioning in different areas of our lives professionally, and we kind of need to get settled in those spaces of life and handle all of those things rather than vacationing. And I know that sounds weird because I think vacations are great and taking breaks are great, but like I said, we just really haven't planned a whole lot of anything. We do have some beach trips planned, but those are all local, so I am excited about that though. We love going to the beach. All right, next question. Do the A5 EC Daily Duo covers fit the Plum paper? A5 Daily, yes they do. I actually shared that in my comparison video. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the description as well for that video, but both companies' covers fit one another because the coils are the exact same size. So that's kind of neat because if you like, you know, a planner but you want covers from a different company, then that's pretty neat that that's an option. What happened to your personal rings? I don't really know how to answer that other than I just stopped using them. I use planners like in a really like fluid way. It doesn't have to be like I bought this planner and now I have to use it till the very end. That's not how I do things. So I just decided it didn't work for me and I moved on from it. Oh, I love this question. How do you keep up your self-confidence and not believe everything that is said on social media or let it get you down? I'm definitely human and sometimes there are things that get to me, but then I also realize that 99.9% of it just isn't true, or it's statements or untruths made by people who only think that they know your life through like a tiny little lens of what they see on social media. So essentially it's just ignorant assumptions. That's probably the nicest way that I can say it. So knowing that is, or keeping that in mind, I should say, is what keeps me from feeling so down on myself. People are always going to have something to say about what it is that you're doing or not doing, or they're going to think you're not doing enough. All kinds of things. They can think what they want. At the end of the day, you really have to do like the work internally to believe in yourself enough to not let those external unimportant voices get to you. So it's definitely a work in progress. I definitely think that if you're feeling down or letting things that get to you, or letting things on social media get to you, it might be time to unplug. I wouldn't let like the people who are being negative or just consistently trying to take jabs at you, I wouldn't, you know, let it get to you to the point where you never come back on social media. But you have to, at the end of the day, maintain boundaries that are best for you and your mental health and what protects you and your family. So it's definitely going to be personal decisions how you go about navigating social media, but as long as you know that every time you are on social media, there's always going to be someone who has something to say because they just cannot help themselves. So don't waste time trying to stop them. Just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, I love this question too. How are you able to maintain your family's privacy on social media? It is very easy for me. Both my kids are older. I truly believe in giving consent to put people's information online or their images online. And while my children can legally give consent, I also remember that this is not their channel. This is my channel. It's called Julie's Plans. So the focus is not on my family. I've shared this view before. I'm very like anti-family vlogger because I think that there are, and it's not the intent of every channel out there, but I do believe that there are a lot of channels out there that are exploiting their kids because they knew that it's going to get them views, and views drive in more revenue, and do what you got to do to make money, but probably shouldn't use underage children who legally can't give consent and who might look back on it 30 years from now and despise you for putting so much of their lives on the internet. All right, so there's that. How do you establish routines for a busy person? I think that if you're really, really busy, you need to figure out what are your non-negotiable things that absolutely have to be a part of your routine, that you have to get done in order to go on about your day and go on about your life. There's going to be other parts of your routines that you want to do but are not necessarily have to do's. And that's where you kind of have to, you know, build your list of routine based on that. And I say start small, start with one thing at a time, and then just go from there. I think that if you're really, really busy trying to totally revamp a routine from beginning to end all at once into a massive overhaul might set yourself up for failure. So just start with a couple of things and see if you can keep up the consistency for a week or two or even a month, and then add from there. And then hopefully it does more good and helps you in your life. But definitely do a lot of like stopping and reflecting and evaluating the routine to make sure that it is working before you add another layer to the routine. Oh, I love this question. Will you ever design a planner? I mean, yeah, yes. So it's definitely something that is on my radar to do, but oddly enough, it's something that I have already been doing for quite some time, in the way that I have done consulting with different brands over the years to help them design their layouts and their planners. And some of them you might be using and you don't even realize it, but because it's not my company, but I definitely had some input in how those planners are designed and how they look. And I love that aspect of kind of like the behind the scenes with a planner company. I would definitely, maybe way off in the future, love to actually have one that is my own, but you know, we'll see. Never say never, right? How often do you change planners? As often as I want to. Next question. Where do you get your motivation when you're feeling tired? Usually when I'm feeling tired, in order to stay motivated, I have to rest. I think that it's really, really important to include rest and downtime. There's no way that you can just keep going and not ever take some time to stop and pause. That's pretty much a recipe for burnout. So if you're feeling tired and unmotivated, just stop. Just take a break. I think sometimes you overcomplicate things. Like, we consider staying motivated with constantly doing things, but honestly, start constantly staying in motion is how we will just completely not function. Rest is an absolutely vital part of keeping going. It sounds crazy, right, to say like in order to keep going you have to stop, but that's exactly what you need to do. Can you tell us about your new job? No. Okay. And that's not to be like rude or a smartass or anything. It's just I have a personal boundary to not talk about work on here. This is a platform that I use for my hobby and things that I love sharing, and I don't want to mix work in this space at all. I really don't. What did you not like about your 6-ring planner? I assume this means like either a personal size or an A5 ring bound system. The big thing for me was I love being able to change things, like move pages around, but for me it had a lot to do with not being able to fold the book back on itself like you would with a spiral or with discs. I have just found that that is a feature that I really like in a planning system, so that's kind of why I go to rings because I like the flexibility, but then I always end up leaving because it's just too much. All right, this next question kind of is a good piggyback off of the last question, and that was, are you still using your disc bound system? Honestly, I am not. Again, it kind of goes back to the almost having too much flexibility for me. Like right now, it is just, that's way too much to be able to constantly keep wanting to change or move things around. It's like it's adding another layer of work to the planning that I just don't want to do right now or don't want to carve out time for. So like decorating and choosing dividers and all of those things, I'm like, it's a lot for me. So I'm just like, I need a break from all of those types of planning systems. But I do have a disc bound setup, very much like just a notebook style. So it has several different categories with the different dividers and things like that, but it is truly just either lined paper or dot grid paper. All right, are you still using Plum paper, or will you be using the Daily Duo A5? How did you decide? I actually haven't decided. I'm actually kind of just taking the whole stress of having to make a choice because I find that fun or productive or motivating. I'm just gonna use what I want to use when I want to use it. I have thought about different ways to make each planner work in different areas of my life, like possibly using the Daily Duo more so for work. I haven't found a good daily that works for me for work, so it'll be interesting to see if I can make it work for work. But I want to use it simply because it is something that I paid for, and I hate like buying things and then they just sit on a shelf and I never touch them again. So it's gonna be tough, but I do want to make a decision to where if I decide that I don't want to use it, then maybe I can pass it on to someone else who could get some use out of it. I don't want them to just sit there, but for now I don't really have a solid decision in place as to how each planner will fit into my lineup, and I think that that's going to be okay. I have really enjoyed being flexible in what I'm using and not forcing myself to stay in a planner just because it's like, if a planner is dated for a whole year and I decide 3 months into it that it's not going to work, I'm not going to force myself to stay in it. Can you share your sticker organization? Absolutely, and actually it's right back there. I just use mini binders. It's nothing elaborate. I thought about sharing a video of that, but it's literally just mini binders, and there's kits in some, and then the others are just by type, if that makes sense. So like half boxes are together, and event labels and appointment labels, and then I have a binder that is just for like typography type of stickers, and that's it. I have really over the years found that this has been the least complicated way to organize stickers and be able to focus more on planning rather than organizing the supplies to plan, because that also takes up a lot of time. I love this question too. Okay, what is your favorite thing about creating content? Honestly, it really is connecting with people in the community and meeting different types of people who use different types of planners and who are just from different areas than from where I live. I think it's just really neat to meet people outside of your bubble and either learn something new from them in a creative way, in the way that they plan that you could possibly use in your system, those kinds of things. Just connecting with people and being inspired by them, and just not even people who live like the same exact type of lifestyle. Like I find myself connecting more to a lot of people who have like possibly like younger kids or are younger than I am, and it's just really cool to just meet different people that way online, or meet them, because I haven't met everybody, but that's like the best part, is just developing these friendships and these relationships that have really grown over the years. Like some people I've known like since the beginning, so almost 7 years or so, that it's just, I've known them longer than I've known some of the people that I've met throughout like our family being a military family and moving all over the world. So it's definitely connecting with the people. That's definitely my favorite. All right, last question, and this one might get me in a little bit of trouble. And this was, what is your favorite nail polish brand? I've actually gotten this question quite a bit in my Instagram DMs when I shared that I was trying the Olive and June nail polish. Now, some of my favorites are obviously like SE nail polishes and OPI, but definitely my favorite is Dazzle Dry. I don't have any on my fingers right now, but that polish like truly can last well over 2 weeks, like seriously well over 2 weeks. I tried Olive and June and so many people jumped into my DMs talking about how much they loved it and it was the best thing ever, and I tried it and I actually found it to be one of the worst nail polishes I've ever tried. I didn't like it. I thought the formula was very watery. It chipped before the 3rd day or on the 3rd day. I was not impressed at all. I have tried like, oh, what's the one? I think it's by Sally Hansen, that like Insta Dry one that's like $1.99 at the store. That lasted longer than the Olive and June. So I have had people that reached out and said, oh, you tried Olive and June, how did you like it? And I was like, I was a little bit scared to say something because it seemed like everybody else on the planet was obsessed with Olive and June, and I'm just sitting here like, I either got a really bad bottle or everybody's lying. But I won't be buying any more of it. It's not my style of nail polish at all. I just didn't like it. So definitely my favorite right now, if I had to go in order of like top 3, it would be the Dazzle Dry nail polish system. It is a system. I would definitely check out their website. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I just really love their nail polish. And then SE and OPI. They have great formulas. And I think that they last really, really well. So yeah, that's my favorite nail polish. All right, everyone, that is it for today's Q&A video. Dear God, I hope that this video actually recorded. I am looking at my viewfinder in my camera and I'm just like, you say that you're recording, but you lied last time. So hopefully all of the footage is there. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are already subscribed, make sure that you click that red notification bell so that you know when my videos are posted here on YouTube. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.